listening to The Gender Rebels.
I'm Kathleen, a cis woman and ally.
And I'm Faith, a trans woman.
Gender Rebels is a question and answer podcast that explores life outside the gender binary.
A big thanks to our Patreon supporters.
If you'd like to support the show, go to patreon.com/genderrebels. Hey everyone, I'm Kath.
And I'm Faith.
Faith, do we have any new patrons to thank?
We do. We have the very awesome Genevieve.
Genevieve, thank you so much.
Yeah, and Genevieve, if you're sitting there at home wondering, like, where's my stuff? We are so sorry. Your email went into my spam folder. And so we are going to get your stuff out to you. If you have, joined our Patreon and you're like, where's my stuff? Haven't gotten anything. Please do reach out to us. It's possible these emails got lost. It's possible we made a mistake. So please do reach out to us on Twitter, Instagram, info@genderrebels.com. Email us, and we'll rectify that situation as soon as we can.
And also, we will look at the settings on Patreon and regularly check our spam mail and just make sure that information goes where it needs to go. That being said, worst case scenario, you're not getting your stuff, speak up. We want you to have your stuff. We want our stuff out in the world.
Yeah. And so, yeah, one other quick note. Some people I want to thank. I posted on Instagram yesterday that, or I guess this would have been earlier this week when y'all are listening to it, that my insurance denied my FFS. We did a episode a couple weeks back called Faith F's Her F, and I was sad, and I got so many of you wrote in with just the kindest remarks, and I want to say thank you to everyone who wrote in, and y'all are awesome.
To those of you who haven't seen it, there will be a link down below of the Instagram post, but yeah, that was rough.
Yeah, so there's an appeal in process, and, I plan to fight the insurance company tooth and nail, and we'll see how it goes. But it is a very sad moment right now, but hopefully things will be better in the future. Mm-hmm. The future will be better tomorrow, as they say.
Like, we know it will happen. We know this will happen.
Yeah, it's just
okay.
Instead of happening in 2 weeks, it's going to maybe happen next year or the year after that. We'll see.
We'll make sure it happens.
Or it may still happen in 2 weeks. That's still a possibility, albeit a smaller one now. So,
yeah.
Anywho.
This is hard.
It is. Transition's hard. And I'm out. This isn't even our episode topic, but I am at one of those moments in my transition where I'm like, oh my God, this is so hard. Why is this so hard? I'm sick. I stopped electrolysis because I was like, oh my God, this sucks. And now I'm dealing with all this surgery and paperwork and insurance companies. And I'm like, oh my God, this sucks. I just want to stop this, but I can't.
Yeah.
You can't. You just keep going. And so I feel a little defeated right now and very down, but, we soldier through it, and transition's not all easy. It's not all rainbows and cupcakes and puppy dogs. Sometimes it's gray rainbows of sadness, and instead of puppy dogs, it's scorpions, and instead of, what was the other one?
Cupcakes, they have like a bad flavor, like rum raisin, and it looks like it's covered in flies, but it's actually raisins.
Yeah, something like that.
I don't know. I'm really sorry, babe.
It's okay.
It's shitty.
I mean, it sucks, but, it's just a extra hassle, and we keep hassling, so.
You want to talk about a different kind of problem?
Yeah.
Okay, I got a question.
Okay.
So, this has come up. I've seen variations of this question on Reddit, and it occurred to me how really annoying this is. And the first thing I want to say is, I have an older sister, and she's very nice, and I love her very much, but my teachers in school, all the way through high school, and it even happened to me once or twice at college, even though we didn't go to the same college, my teachers would call out her name when they saw me. And so, my name is Kath. I respond to
different
Kath.
Colleges.
Yeah, it was someone she knew in high school who
okay.
I was like a lab partner in OChem, and I'm like, I can't believe someone at my college just called me by my sister's name. It was a very striking moment.
Yeah.
But I mean, everyone who's had older siblings going through the same school probably had the same thing, as they call you Tim when you're Jonathan or whatever. So that happened to me, to the extent that now sometimes when I hear my sister's name, my ears perk up in case someone is calling me.
Yeah.
but don't know my name.
Oh, that's tricky.
So my question for you is, you've got a dead name.
I do have a dead name.
We can go with Bill for the sake of this episode.
I want my dead name to be something better than Bill. Can it be
Steele Michelson?
Yeah, no, let's go with Phoenix.
Phoenix. Okay.
Phoenix,
So your dead name was Phoenix.
Phoenix, yes.
And you're so fabulous.
It's Phoenix Sparkles. That was my dead name.
So your birth certificate says Phoenix Sparkles. Now it says Faith DeBrook. But let's say tomorrow, hey, new coworker, cubicle right next to you.
Yeah.
This is Phoenix McDougal. Hey, Phoenix, did you get the TPS report? Phoenix, you've got your orientation training. Phoenix, could I have you come take a look at this? Hey, Phoenix, what's going on with the cadaver plan? I don't know what the fuck you do at work all day. So...
The cadaver plan?
The cadaver plan. What is your cadaver plan? I've been meaning to ask you.
We generally...
You don't have a cadaver plan?
The plan is to bury them.
What, just in the woods?
I mean, in the graveyard.
There's no graveyard in your woods at work. Not your work woods.
I work as a grave digger, Kath. That's my day job. No, actually, I know
don't have a cadaver plan.
My mom has worked with grave diggers before at her job.
Oh, because I bet they're union.
She's a small town person, and yeah.
That sounds like a fun job, honestly. I think
they're
really
like maintenance. They're maintenance. They're called landscape maintenance or something like that. And they mow lawns and trim trees and also dig graves.
But you also get the backhoe or whatever it's called.
Oh, they have backhoes now. They're not out there at midnight with a shovel.
Oh, duh. No fucking shit. I'm saying it would be fun to drive the backhoe and cut. And it's such a beautifully squared off little pot.
You gotta measure twice, dig once, they say.
Right. That's right. Well, of all the things to screw up, like, you dig too deep. Oh, well, fill it in a little.
Yeah.
You dig too shallow. Okay, dig a little bit more. Mm-hmm. Anyway, I wish I were a grave digger. I made horrible life choices.
I bet you could easily transition to grave digger.
I'm going to talk to your mom about how to get it.
Okay.
And anyway, Phoenix.
Yes. So that sucks.
So, like, you encounter your name. Or just, like, you're at someone's party. They've never met. They're like, Faith, this is Phoenix, my roommate's coworker. He's super cool. Like, what's that like for you?
I don't know if in my transition I have met someone with my name, my old dead name.
You didn't have like a super rare name.
It was not. It was a rather common name, and it's weird because I don't really think I have. Didn't we meet someone like at a trivia night or something like that recently?
Possibly. Something like that.
Yeah, it just doesn't really... I think it would bother me a little bit. It would, like, kind of irk me. But it's not something that would, like, irk me deep into my soul.
Okay.
Of course, it's not happening to me, but if I did, say, have that coworker next to me, and I was hearing it constantly, I do a thing that I think I've stopped doing, I gotta say, where people would be like, sir, and then,
oh,
and when I was new to my transition and I'd sort of just come out,
you would look around.
I would look over when people said sir, and then I was like, oh shit, don't do that.
Shit.
So I have done that.
Just outed myself.
Which is embarrassing,
yes.
and I thankfully, hopefully that didn't happen. And thankfully, no one noticed, I don't think.
Oh, so there was never a point where they're like, sir, and you turned around and they're like, oh, I thought you were a lady. Here's your order.
Yeah.
And there was never any.
No, I did have the situation where I went into the regular deli I go to sometimes. And I had the guy, and there's, a lot of immigrants working in delis in New York City. And I'm going to get my sandwich, and the guy looks up and says, see, sir? And I went, sir, he called me sir. And then I went, oh no, I order a chicken Caesar wrap like every other day.
Caesar, oh my Lord.
Caesar, but I thought he said sir, and I'm like, what? Why'd you call me sir? Wow. Yeah.
I didn't see that little
No,
twist
I think I worked well with those guys because the
they
other
call
guys,
you mommy now.
They call me mommy.
Hey, mommy, Caesar wrap.
Yeah, basically. So it's been like, I don't deal with people calling me that name. I haven't really dealt with it.
Okay.
I have a feeling at this point in my transition, probably I wouldn't look.
Yeah.
I wouldn't turn my head.
It's been a while.
I turn my head when people call my name now.
New. Mm-hmm. Faith.
Yeah. You know, I kind of have that affinity.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I should hope so. You've got to have a name.
I do.
Transition doesn't change that.
No, but I think you pass
function with the rest of us.
There's a thing called the cocktail effect, cocktail party effect, yes. Where it's like, even if it's a loud, crowded cocktail party, if you hear someone say your name at a regular speaking register, you will turn your head at a cocktail party, regardless of the other noise. And so I think that's not automatic. And I noticed after I transitioned, that wasn't automatic. It took me a few months, maybe a year, before dead name and sir were no longer automatic, and like ma'am, miss, Faith were. And so I think in that, if I first came out, like if there were like me, Phoenix Sparkles, and like next to me is like Phoenix Drudgel.
Yeah.
And or Drudgeon. Those two. There's actually two of them, Drudgel and
You're
Drudgeon.
surrounded by phoenixes?
Yeah.
Fantasies?
Phoenixes, yeah. I would, and if I had that situation, like right after coming out, I think every time I heard it, I would be like rolling my eyes and be like, oh my God, I can't believe I have to deal with this shit. And then.
Except, like, what about the slight chance that one of your coworkers still accidentally slips, you know?
Yeah.
It was like right after you come out, and people are still learning, and like, so think back to when you first came out at work.
Yeah.
Were there slips? Were there like
there were
Phoenix? I mean,
there
Faith.
were slips. There were
Okay.
slips,
Okay.
and it's thankfully happens virtually never now, though it still happens once or twice.
But there was just
and
that
it
sort
annoys
of
me.
Yeah, but and that sucks and that's shitty. You shouldn't stand for it. But like right when it started, there was a time when it was wise and appropriate and shitty, but the right thing to do to keep your ears open for that name.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. And so that's been weird, but thankfully it hasn't happened in forever. So
what if you're introduced to a Phoenix?
I don't think that would bother me now. I feel like
can you open
switch...
with that used to be my name?
No, I wouldn't.
Okay.
But that's like a switch that's flipped, and I don't think it's a switch. I think it's a dial that slowly dials up. Because the switch is instant. This takes time.
So you're saying
for your brain
gradually gotten to a point where that particular sound doesn't have as much meaning.
I remember, this is going to be a weird thing. I'm going to tell a weird story, and you can edit this out if you want.
You're a weird girl.
But this is, your brain has to, I think, take time to develop into your new, when you transition, when you come out, your brain has to take some time to kind of get used to that. And I realized that, so I have a thing of, I occasionally have dreams where I need to pee. And I will go in those dreams, I will go find a restroom, and there'll be something always wrong with the restroom. Like either it's a toilet in the middle of a bunch of people, or like there's an inch of water on the floor and it's gross, or like whatever reason
it's just a hole on the floor.
I can't use the bathroom.
Right.
Something is wrong with every toilet in there. And so I had that switch where it was like I was in a ladies' room doing that, where it went from like a men's room to a ladies' room.
Dreamed about a ladies' room.
And so it was kind of like there were no doors on the stalls, or, you know, there were two toilets in the stall and like one person was already sitting there or something. It was.
How did you know it was a ladies' room?
Because I just knew there were ladies in there, or like there were no urinals or something.
Oh,
so it does take your brain time to sort of flip that switch, up that dial. And I think once you've upped that dial to a significant degree, it's not going to bother you anymore, because it's like, it's not my name anymore. It was my name once upon a time, but it's not anymore.
So it's a matter of time.
I think it's a matter of time.
Okay.
And again, this is me. I speak for myself. I can't speak for every trans person unless the news wants to interview me, and then I'd be happy to.
Everyone. Every trans person. We speak for every trans person in the world.
Every single one of them.
All trans people who have ever been and ever will be.
Yes.
Good thing you found me. I speak for all of them.
Yes.
Okay.
So I can only really speak for myself. I think for me, it wouldn't bother me now. I think it would have. And I think there is that, like, important switch that, I'm going to keep saying switch. It's a dial or a water thing that sort of raises like it drips, and then when you get enough water. Yeah, like a lock or something.
Do you want to talk about the actual rewiring of the neurons?
Yeah, we can talk about.
Do you want to keep trying to find a metaphor?
So I think it takes a while. You're the neuro person. You're the neuroscientist.
What you are describing is a phenomenon we neuroscientists call learning.
Oh, okay.
But also the people around you are learning, right?
Yes.
So you have had to sort of bear the burden of people who learn not so well, and you have benefited from people who learn very well, because human interaction involves saying a name and responding to it. So what has happened is the part of your brain that heard Phoenix and immediately responded to it, yeah, what's up? That particular series of connections has starved to death.
Oh.
You killed it.
You killed it. Okay.
You and the people around you helped you kill it.
Interesting. So those neurons just like wither and die or something?
Yeah. I mean, imagine, let's say your job was to get shot at.
Yeah.
And dodge bullets.
A bullet dodger.
A bullet dodger. So let's say you're a professional bullet dodger. Yeah. And you had a helper. Like you're really high level bullet dodger. So you got an assistant.
In France, they call them ammunitionnaire.
Ammunitionnaire.
Yes.
Well, maybe you're an ammunitionneuse now.
Yes.
Anyway, you're an American bullet dodger.
Uh-huh.
Because my high school French is not great. And your assistant yells your name to help you dodge the bullets.
Yes.
And let's say your assistant is really stupid, but really good about helping you dodge the bullets. And they keep yelling, Phoenix, dodge! Phoenix! 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 Dodge, dodge, dodge! And that's how you dodge bullets in your career. So even after you transition and you tell the person, I'm Faith, not Phoenix, and they consistently get it wrong, and you consistently need to respond to that, you wouldn't lose that wiring.
Okay.
That is the only situation in the world
such a realistic
where
situation.
You are a professional American bullet dodger.
Yes.
And you have a stupid yet competent assistant.
Okay.
Otherwise,
happens to us all.
You go
one
through
time or
phases
another
in your career.
Yeah.
So since you didn't have a stupid while still competent assistant consistently reinforcing that reacting to your name is the thing you need to do, you didn't, and you haven't, and you don't.
Yeah.
So it all died. Well,
okay,
done.
Good. So that's sort of part of it. Your brain does rewire, and I think even though as trans people we know this is our gender identity, this is who we are. Your brain has spent the better part of your life wiring those neurons to go to a specific bathroom, to wear specific clothes, to be called by a specific name, and takes time. It takes a lot of time for that to all rewire. And once it does, this is all sort of a process. Transition is a process. Transition's like a dial that you turn.
You're really fixated on the switch of the dial.
I know, right? Transition takes time. And it takes time for your brain to catch up with that. But it does. And I think that's why seeing my dead name, initially after I transitioned was kind of annoying. Like I'd see it on documents or things like that at work, or see it on a bill or something that
or your
still
PayPal
showed up.
Account. Fuck PayPal.
Fucking PayPal. Say Livy. It doesn't really bother. But see, now it doesn't really bother me that much.
That's interesting. Okay.
Because, again, that's just someone else. It's just my dead name.
It's a flaw in PayPal's system. Otherwise, Amazon was able to get your name changed, right? And,
everyone else.
Etsy's on top of it, and we haven't had any problems from the public library, so I don't know what the fucking problem with PayPal.
Someone said I should just delete my PayPal account and then, like, redo it, but I think with, like, eBay or something, you get, like, the longer your PayPal account is active.
Yeah.
Because I deleted a PayPal account once upon a time and got a new one because I went to do stuff. I forgot why. But apparently, I think I went from boy to girl at that point. And then it was like, it suddenly like shifted. Like I lost all my credibility.
I mean, I could see how someone could generate a bunch of PayPal accounts and just be a total scammer. And like, I get that. That's something I want to avoid.
Yeah, completely unrelated to the topic of this episode.
Oh,
we'll talk about, but it's so it doesn't bother me now. And I think I realized in June, which is not that far away, only about maybe another 2 months, I will have worked at my job longer as a woman than as a man.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and so I think it's like June 17th or something like that.
That is exactly, as of date of recording, exactly 2 months away.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And so it's like, we'll see. It's, wow. And again, I think also, like, it's helped because more and more new people have come in who've only ever known me.
I love that.
Yeah.
Aren't they the best?
They are.
And I'm sure have to like them.
And I'm sure there's stories and gossip and bullshit. And, you know, who cares? It's better to be talked about than not talked about.
Yeah. Publicity, something.
You know, I'm just going with that. Yes. I go with what I friggin' need to go with, okay? Just let me go with it.
Understood.
And, yeah, my brain has slowly rewired, and I don't think it would bother me now. I think it would be something I could easily kind of put in that other category.
So what would
category.
What would your advice be to someone who is at work and not constantly, but like enough, has a phoenix hanging around, just doing their thing, but, you know, like, I don't need this.
Yeah.
What's your advice for that person?
Like a lot of transition, it's going to take patience. Trans people, here's the thing. Trans people are braver than people realize.
Yep.
Way friggin' tougher than people realize.
Yep.
People think we're snowflakes. We're not. We're tough as nails because we have to be.
You're steel flakes.
Steel flakes. Yeah, I like that. Hashtag steel flakes.
Hashtag steel flakes.
And we're more patient than people realize. And transition is slow every single time. I remember talking to people like ages ago on like GeoCities and stuff, you know, and like MySpace and the kerosene powered internet.
Yeah.
And people were like, transition's slow. It's slow. It's slow.
Nothing happens overnight. It couldn't if you wanted to.
And so this is part of it. It sucks. There's no real good way to sit there and say, you know what, just sit there. It'll get better. It will. And it's just something that's going to take time.
And you
like
still
everything else.
Doing the stuff. Like you don't get to just sit around and it gets better. You got to keep working at it and talk to the doctors and the counselors and taking the drugs and looking into surgery and changing your name and coming out at work and telling your family. Like there's so much work involved, but even then,
with this name thing, it's just a matter of just wait it out. It's not going to bother you in a year. It's not going to. You're not even going to notice it in a year because it's not going to be your name. It's not going to be something that you even really associate with yourself in the same way. And I can't wait for that time in my life where I pass that threshold where I have been Faith longer than I've been Phoenix.
Yeah, that's going to be awesome.
I should calculate that. It's going to be like in the future and we'll be celebrating on a Mars colony.
Yeah.
But
you'll be in your 70s?
I was 36. So I'll be 73.
I can't wait. It's going to be so fun. You want to celebrate with an Alaskan cruise?
Yeah.
That's what people do in their 70s.
On some sort of starship to the colony of New Alaska, because it'll be 2073.
And there won't be.
No, I won't be 2073. It'll be like 2053. But still, it's going to be a while for me, but that point may come, and you know, we'll see.
And then you'll hear Phoenix the exact same way that I hear Phoenix. Like, that is another person's name, and it has some good letters in Scrabble.
Yeah, and I think
P and H and X. Wow.
Yeah. So it's it's one of those things I transition. That's what I'd say to someone in this situation. If you're annoyed by this and you're dealing with this, try to let it go.
Mm-hmm.
Put on some headphones.
Like when you hear it,
Yeah.
Here's my advice, and just from a rewiring your brain kind of thing, I would say if it actually gets you sort of anxious, that's when deep breathing is necessary, because that is the fastest calming thing that you can do. Just, it's invisible, basically. Just focus on your breathing, in and out, and in and out. And you do that enough times to hearing your dead name, it will eventually become a habit, and you will eventually stop having sort of a stressful response to that. I wish you didn't have to deal with it, but if you do, that's the best way.
Yeah. So yeah, transition takes time.
Did I kill all the energy in the podcast?
Yeah.
By talking about deep breathing?
You kind of, that's why bands never end on a slow song. They always end on the biggest, most popular number.
Well,
I want you to go out with energy. So tell us about you and how you've dealt with this. We would love to hear.
yes. Everyone, you know how to comment on the episode, tweet at us, questions at Gender Rebels. We would love to hear what you've all dealt with.
Yeah.
All right. We will talk to all of you next week.
Yeah, everyone.
Have a great
good
week.
Keep rebelling.
Keep rebelling. Bye-bye.
If you've enjoyed this episode and want to help us keep making more great content, go to patreon.com/genderrebels,
We have many different levels of support and lots of great rewards.
including Drinks with the Gender Rebels at Stonewall.
Please leave a 5-star review on iTunes. That makes it easier for other people to find us.
And send your questions to questions@genderrebels.com or find us on Twitter @thegenderrebels.
Music for the Gender Rebels is by Jasper the Colossal. Follow the link down below or download them on iTunes today.
And for all our episodes, visit genderrebels.com.
The Gender Rebels is a Comeback Sync production, copyright 2019. All rights reserved.
And to all you gender rebels out there, keep rebelling.
Bye.
Bye.